Alright, so right here, just off Atlantic City, we're only looking at an altitude of about a couple thousand feet off, about 2,000 to 3,000 feet. We are looking at winds upwards of 100 miles an hour, easily 104, 105. Look at these winds right here, 102 miles an hour. This is only looking at an elevation of 1,000 feet. Looking at 700 feet in height, winds are at about 70 miles an hour. Let's look at JFK. Yeah, these winds are ferocious. Strongest winds are still approaching Long Island. They haven't come ashore yet, but look at those winds. I've never seen winds this strong. This is almost unheard of. So east-southeast winds here. You can clearly see the orientation of the winds right here. You can clearly see the orientation of the winds. You can clearly see the direction of the winds right here. Southeast right here. So this is going to shape up to be a very historic storm. Winds in this storm are easily at over 100 miles an hour. The good thing is, only thing I'm going to see here in Oswego is just going to be some rain. Not much more, so that's good. It's just going to rain here in Oswego, but you can see there's some pretty heavy rain approaching. I'm actually going to go outside for just a moment, just to check. So yeah, it's raining pretty hard out. It's also pretty foggy outside. I'm assuming it's because of the cold ground, some warm air. Actually, we're getting an offshore wind here. Let's look at the correlation coefficient. Yep. There is rain. So it's all rain for everything that is at least, well, for here in Oswego, I'd say 3,000 feet, because this is high in the Tug Hill. So looks like there is rain from this base going up to about 2,000 feet. If you want to see how high the mixing line is, so it's starting to melt once you get like about 3,000 feet, still rain. Even at 3,000 feet, you're getting rain. But once you get above, I'll say 6,000, about 6,500 feet is where it's mostly snow. So you're getting mixing from about 3,200 to about 6,000 feet. So yeah, that's your mixing. That's where, so your freezing levels should be right about 62, 6,300 feet. Yeah, this is about where your freezing line is. So the heights are pretty high. There's definitely some warm air, considering we're in the warm sector, and this hybrid system is coming up the coast. Still a remnant low, but it's definitely a hybrid storm. So this storm on the Jersey Shore could have gusts up exceeding 100 miles per hour. Well, not 100, sorry. At the surface could be exceeding gusts up to 60, 70 miles an hour. Definitely a historic storm. And here, look how high the warm air goes. I mean, look at that. Even you're going up to 7,000 feet and you're still getting rain. Look at that, 8,000 feet high, and you're still getting rain. Let's go to tilt 4. You're 11,000 feet. So let's see how high the freezing level is. 6,000, 7,000, 8,000. We're approaching like 12,000 feet and we're getting mixing. So this is some very, very warm air here on the east side of the storm. Very, very warm air loft. Look at this, 12,000 feet. That's about where your freezing line is. And down here, it's about 14,000 feet. So everything below 8,000 feet is all rain. And down here is like 10,000 feet almost. Here, almost everything below 10,000 feet is all rain. And you really have to get above 13,000 feet for you to be getting snow. That's almost 3 miles in altitude, 2.5 miles up, before you start getting snow. I mean, that's a very, very, very high altitude. I mean, that is just, yeah, that's impressive. That's a lot of warm air in this system. I mean, that's not a surprise considering you're getting winds at over 100 miles an hour that are just above the surface. I mean, look at this. This is a historic storm, so. Jeez, look at these winds. 106, 113 miles per hour. Yeah. These are Category 2 winds. I mean, that's tilt 3. Tilt 1 here, it's not as strong, but yeah. Keep in mind these winds are aloft, so very, very historic storm. So '85 knots. The only time I've ever seen this color was during a tropical hurricane. Never before during a nor'easter. I mean, I've seen like little patches of it, but never this extensive. This is definitely going to be a historic storm. Look at these gusts. I mean, these are hurricane force winds being reported in southeastern Massachusetts. Let's see what the forecast is calling for. Still only gale warnings. But right here, Hurricane force wind warning. Never. I've only seen this a few times. There's probably going to be some news about some ships that have sunk or a cruise ship that got caught in a really, really bad storm. Anyway, guys, my folks, just keep safe, especially if you're in New York City. I'm going back to sleep. Good night, guys.